Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome back for our second edition of Men's Conference, where we meet up to have a great conversation about men, the struggles that men are going through, and the beauties that we are men. This evening, we will have a guest and we'll have a conversation with a brother, with a thinker, with someone very spiritually gifted and very, very disciplined who's walking this life thing in a very, very disciplined approach. So I'd like us firstly to ground ourselves. I know we've had a Monday, and Monday is always challenging, regardless of what you're going through, or where you're working, and where you're grafting, and where you find your piece of bread and your peace. So I'd just like us to come to a space of quietness within ourselves. So wherever you find yourself, if you're sitting with your family, your loved ones, your woman, your man, whoever you're with, I ask you to take this time into and go into a sacred space within yourself. Yes, by closing your eyes and just shutting out the person next to you or shutting out your thoughts. And just go inside of you. I just want you to breathe in deeply. I just want you to take in that breath. And I want you to inhale deeply and hold it. And hold the energy of the day and just release it again and exhale and let the day go. And as you exhale, I want you to consciously let go of all the thoughts, all the stress, all the troubles, all the debt, everything that you've gone through during the day, everything that you've encountered during the day. I just want you to rid yourself of it. Let that energy go and expand your wings. Just free up your wings and see your spirit person spreading their wings. And allow yourself to expand. And allow yourself to breathe. And keep on breathing and taking in and out. And keep on breathing and just focus on your breathing. And keep on breathing. And as you keep on breathing, I'd like you to just focus on what your body is saying to you. And all those spaces where there's a little bit of an ache. Excuse me. And that's my body exhaling. Excuse me. And allow your body to speak to you. And listen to what your body is saying. Where is it sore? Scan your body from your head. Hold that energy in your headspace. And allow that energy to circulate in your headspace and allow it to drop into your shoulders, into your neck. Allow it down your back, into your chest. Allow it down your stomach and scan as you keep on going down, and allow your body to be able to speak to you. And allow it to come down to your waistline and allow it to keep on moving through you, and allow your body to be able to feel all of this. And do so with love and respect and honor for your body. Allow yourself to keep on feeling. Keep on breathing and feel your body. Go down with your body all the way down your thighs, down your knees, down your legs, and into your feet, into the soles of your feet. And allow your feet to be able to touch the ground and extract from the earth what it needs. And listen to what your body needs from the earth and order it from the earth and receive it from the earth and re-energize this body as you go. Allow your body to come back with that energy intact. And allow your body to relax. The worry about reports, the stress about money, the stress about not having enough. Allow all those thoughts to to rush out. And at this moment, I want you to take your deepest breath. And allow yourself to come in. And allow your body to speak to you right now. Just listen to your body. Just listen to what your body is saying. And when you are ready, allow yourself to come back. Great evening, King. Great evening, my brother, Hakeem.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, welcome, welcome,
Thank you so
welcome,
much.
and welcome. We can't hear you, my brother. I think you've muted yourself.
Have I? Let's see.
Or is it on my side? Can you guys hear him?
Can you hear me? I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Let's just ask you, can you guys hear him on your end? Is my brother audible there?
Am I clear?
Oh, you
1
guys
2
can
1
hear
2.
him.
Mic
Okay.
check.
I'm
1 2
struggling
1
to
2.
hear my brother.
All right. Let's see. I'm on my.
Okay, I'm struggling. I'm the only one, it seems, that is struggling to hear you. So I'll try another medium.
Yeah.
So that I'm able to
Okay,
hear
cool.
you, so we can have a conversation. Is that all right? Just give me 1 second, please. Apologies for that. I would hate to miss out on such a great man.
Hey, come on.
Just 1 second, please.
Come on.
These technical glitches and difficulties will always happen, but we ride over them.
They always happen.
Welcome, Hakeem. If you can hear me so long, let me just greet you. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings, my man. We've always have these conversations, and it's actually a blessing to be able to hear you and have you. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
This
Can you
is
hear
the
me clearly?
space.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. It feels like the space. It starts like the space. I like it. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. It feels. I like it a lot. It starts like this. I like it.
My man, tonight I want to talk about a syndrome, man. The Grootman pandemic that we've got. My Grootman.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your take on it? I'm just gonna just reset myself, but whilst you're at it, I'm just gonna step out 1 second. I'll be back on, but please keep on going.
All right, perfect. I think I should introduce myself first, so everyone gets an understanding of who I am and where I come from, with where I'm coming from with my understanding of, say, the topic at hand or any other thing that we're going to be discussing. Dumelang Babote. My name is Hakeem Lesolang. I'm the founder of Fola Wellness and Healing. And by trade, I am a hypnotherapist. Started off as a life coach. And I come from a long way. I used to be in the music industry. I grew up in a dojo with my dad keeping me off the streets, and then the streets called louder than my father could have me in the household. And so started, living a duplicitous life, basically, like every other boy does. And so I'm a Muslim. I embraced Islam when I was 19. And since then, I think since before then, I've just been like on a different tangent in life with just I always wanted to see different, be different, and do different than what was afforded us, and I contribute that highly to reading and literature, and because I was basically forced to read by my grandfather. My grandfather forced me to read him newspapers every single day from the age of 4, and yeah, I attribute like my perspectives and my viewpoints And like just the growth of Fola alone, like just seeing what we've done in the last 12 years, I attribute that to literature and just reading and seeking difference in every aspect, you know. And so with the Grootman pandemic, Wendy and I we talked too much. We talked too much during the week on the sides, and like just I think our idea sharing has kind of brought us to an understanding that like as brothers we really need each other. We need each other as brothers more than we need men. More than we need women. We need each other as brothers. Like you need different perspectives. You need understandings. You need different viewpoints. And not be shy to actually get get a different perspective. Take from it whatever good is in it. Leave whatever is bad. Don't involve yourself in the bad. Don't complain about the bad. Leave whatever is bad. Pray for the bad because you
Yeah.
know where the bad is going to take whatever it is that's whoever it is that's dealing with the bad. You know exactly where it's going to take them. Salvage whatever it is you need to salvage from that, but take the good and add that good to yourself and let it be part of your character growth. You know, so the Grootman pandemic is another one of those things that Wendy and I talk about. Him and I have an understanding that the township is a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to peel it. I'm going to peel it. If you look at any other country, um, another reason why I just emphasized Majita to travel outside of this country. If you look at any other country, any other tribe, any other um, outside of South Africa, outside of like countries that have never experienced apartheid as a part of colonialism or as a part of the colonial structure. Any country that hasn't experienced apartheid, if you look at the tribes and how manhood is introduced to the boy, it's always tutelage. There's always a teacher above the father, but the father comes from, or the father was introduced to, or the uncles grew up in. There's always a sheikh, there's always a guru, there's always a shaman, there's always just a teacher, right? In this
Correct.
country, with the geopolitical structures that the apartheid regime created, the system that we were raised in, that our parents were raised in, that their grandparents were raised in, that their great grandparents were forcefully fed the system, that they great grandparents' parents were, if you don't embrace, we kill, and the rest who remain will embrace by force, right? Or like either death or you do, either death or do,
Correct.
right? Like there was
Correct.
no other option introduced to our people, and we come from that lineage. We are the sum total of that generational step that comes down, because it's not going up, it's coming down, right? In terms of tutelage, in terms of mentorship, in terms of guidance, in terms of structure, it's a step that's going down. Apartheid is a system. A system is 500 to 1,000 years old. Okay, we only on like 300 plus in terms of the system and what the plan of the system trickles down to. We only on like 300 plus, but I always say 70s babies, 80s babies, 90s babies are the ones that can turn it all around quickly, especially 2025 to 2035. We can actually turn it around because
Yeah.
we're the parents now, we're the authority. The Grootman culture comes from the absence of the sheikh or the teacher or the guru in a concentration camp, in a concentration camp called the township. It comes in the form of Rona in our years. I can tell you from my perspective, Rona in our years, it was taxi drivers, it was the local gangster, it was the kid, the elder kid, the 2 grades above us, 4 grades above us, who didn't want to listen to the teachers and they seemed cool. Or it was the guy who kicked ass. We
Yeah.
knew if I was around him, no one would mess with me, so I'm gonna roll with
Yeah.
him. That's where the Grootman culture for us, for our generation, I believe, starts from. We learn it from early. We learn it and we like it and we subscribe to it because of power, right? Because of power. If Tama Naleka Muntlung, Tama had power and the power was monetary, you see our sisters and the women that we date or the women that we marry, they grew up in the same environment as us, and so the way they got wired was, mom is surviving this, I'll never marry this. But because this is power, I'm going to be this. That's why alcohol culture with our sisters is growing high, and they making more money than you, and they kind of treat you like the way your dad treated your mom, or the way your mom's boyfriends treated your mom. Because what power is, we saw what power is. We were like, Dama's telling me this, but he's living this. I can't follow a guy who's like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to follow the guy who's not telling me this, but doing this. He's just doing this and just is this. And he'll tell me, Donna, this is bad.
Yeah.
But it's bad, but this is what it is. And he showed you power. Pops showed you power monetarily, right? But because he was abusing mom, so he wasn't loyal to mom, so he cheated on mom, so he broke the family apart, or he beat you. You don't listen to the guy that says he loves you, or is supposed to love you, but he's not doing that in action, and he doesn't have consistency in that. So you're not going to follow time around. You're going to follow what power looks like. Even as the good kid who wants to protect moms, has got sisters and all of that. Eventually, you're going to be in a group where you're quiet. You're not going to challenge. You're not going to shake the table. You're not going to disturb the waters there, because you want to be part of the in crowd, and you want to be part of the guys that are protected or protective of the clique, of the gang, of the squad, right? So we're going to do boy stuff. That's where I believe Grootman culture stems from. I'm gonna stop it there, and then we can dig deeper into that.
You know, I love how you started from where, you know, it fundamentally comes from the psychology of Grootman, you know. And I can imagine what it feels like dating a guy who has the Grootman syndrome, because all other guys to him are a Grootman.
Yeah.
So then he comes home to you, and he wants to play the Grootman.
The Grootman, yeah.
And as the sister, you're sitting there going, "You ain't no Grootman. I've watched you around your guy.
I know Grootman. Your woman is gonna look at you like you an ice boy, homie. Like, I know you. I know you. I know how you make money. I know how you are when you don't have money. I know how you operate when you need money. I know how you operate. You operate the same way as girls who want money."
And then it leads me again. So it then leads me again to, you know, a phenomenon that I'm seeing, and I've had a close encounter with it, where you get a guy that does not want to admit to having the Grootman syndrome.
Yeah.
So therefore, they are always the loudest in the room. They're always the bravest in the room. They're always the most. Everyone must hear me. Everyone must see me. Everyone must feel me. So I want to break out of this, but I don't want to do the legwork of not calling people Grootman or not giving them the attitude of Grootman. So, you know, I like the fact that you gave us the psychology behind the Grootman syndrome, but I want to take it a step further and say, in a 9 to 5, the black man still looks up to Ngamla as the Grootman. Because if Ngamla closes the taps, I will Grootmaning you on payday. Let them not pay you on the 25th.
Sure.
You'll see who's the Grootman. Sure. So, you know.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? What's your take on that element? Economically, black people are still looking up to the white man as the Grootman.
Yeah, dude, if your grandfather comes from that and your dad comes from that, and there was no redress or there was no processing of the trauma of seeing your dad never processed the trauma, or like your uncle never processed the trauma of seeing his father as being called a boy by a teenager, a white teenager.
Yeah.
Your dad never processed that. how your dad or how your uncles raised you, or how the Grootman, the thug in the hood, operates, doesn't hand over the authority of a man. It only knows how to play the boy.
Oh,
It only knows how to play that's the trauma loop. You like no one in that chain of authority, we'll call it that, of Grootmanship and ice boyship has addressed the trauma. No one has consolidated it. No one has forgiven. No one has let it. No one has emotionally detached themselves from the occurrence and the impact of Khonyatiwa and Khonyaniwa. As a man with a beard, with children, and your children are about to have their own children, and you're being called a boy in front of your son.
and this boy looks up to you.
I heard you talk about talk to Nziki about like the concept that you hate of like bring a girl child to work, how much you hate that, and I was thinking to myself, this conversation is going to be quite it's going to be quite lovely. It's going to be quite sweet. I can tell you why the men in power and the women in power can bring a girl child home. It's because the men in power never processed that trauma. They never processed it. So,
right.
How is a man stuck in being called a boy going to graduate a boy to structures of power? Let me show you what power looks like. Those men were surviving their fathers beating their women, their mothers. Those men probably got into relationships where they were beating women, and they were like, I don't want to do this anymore, so let me put a woman in power. Hear from a woman what a woman wants to do, just as part of my redress.
Yeah, and I've done my part. You know,
manhood is handed. It's a the walk towards manhood is like walking the gauntlet for English people. It's like crossing a river with crocodiles, and your feet aren't too far away from the water, right? That's what manhood is. But there's always a guy who knows how to traverse that bridge, and he's just like us. Don't even look down, dog. Just walk to me. Just look at me. Don't look down. Look at me. Look at me. Walk to me. It's a baton. A baton that's passed. There's lessons that you need to learn when it comes to. I'm gonna take it back again. Because I can see myself if I continue going this way, you know me, I'm gonna get carried away. I'm gonna lose everyone because I didn't do this, right?
Yeah.
So in my introduction, I was talking about the houses we're raised in and the trauma that comes from the intergenerational trauma that comes from there. We're raised by men that are stuck in the construct of boyhood and boyishness, and they're raising us the only way they know how, and that's the way they were raised. Washabiwa, waomanyiwa, wapanishiwa. That's the only way to make a man a man. And then like you have to figure things out on your own, because my father left me to figure things out on my own. I'm gonna leave your mom because walapisa disastere, I'm gonna go. We're at that age now where we're doing the same thing our fathers did. We either drinking too much or we leaving the relationships with children in them because we don't know how to manage them because the trauma wasn't processed. Understand? So that's the introduction. The household is like that. That's what the household is. Pops is telling me this, he's doing this. Can't listen to this guy. Here's this guy who does this, says this is bad, but says, here's some money and bitches. But this is bad, dog. Like, don't, how this ends. So be careful. If you're going to do this, be careful. Or, I can listen to this advice. So we go this way, right? Then eventually we we get into trouble. We break girls' hearts and we fuck around with our money. And we try to, it's still here. We're still here. You know what I mean? Then we have kids and we just let me just try to force it. A lot of us are here. We're doing this thing. Why? Because no one passed the baton of manhood and say, Ndonaka, before you get married for 3 years, buy cows. Because you're going to get married. So, no one says that to us. No one says that to us. Financial wellness. Every single school and every university and every course you go to, you did to graduate, taught you work of yesterday. They didn't teach you work of tomorrow. They taught you they taught you your mother's and your father's work environment. not today's work environment. They didn't prepare you for, hey, interest, VAT. You know, they didn't prepare you for SARS. They didn't prepare you for easy equities. You're only learning of easy equities now. You're only learning of frank now. You're only learning of, now you have 2 kids. One of them is a late teen. She has to go to tertiary in 2 years. I'm talking about myself. You know what I'm saying? You have to make the 9 to 5 work. You have to make the job work. You have to make the business has to work. You don't have a choice. Or you drink and you think you convince yourself you don't have a choice, and then you fall out. Why? Because this thing of manhood wasn't passed to you and it wasn't taught to you. You weren't taught the fundamentals. You weren't taught first principles of being a black man part of the regime who has multi-millionaire, a centimillionaire. But before you turn 45, you have to be a decamillionaire. You weren't taught that system, and that system exists. And I just want to tell all the guys, all the gents into this, that system exists, but it starts with you dealing with the work at home. The reason I'm going back here is because I want to get to answer your question. No one hands us the knowledge today for tomorrow's profit, for tomorrow's well-being, for tomorrow's successful relationships, marriage relationships, daughters knowing how to pick the right guy. Knowing how to pick the right guy. Daughters courting. You setting up a courting system for your daughter. You setting up a courting system for your son. That thing isn't taught to us, but it exists. It's there. It's real. It works. I'm in it. It works. It works. Why? Because there's a silent rebellion we go into when we're teenagers, where you rebel against the authority in the household, because the authority in the household is two-faced. It says this but does that. I don't want to say this and do that. I want to do this. So I'm going to listen to this guy. This guy teaches me things. Rest of my adulthood, I'm just trying to cobble this thing that I covered. Right? Made children out of wedlock. Got married to the wrong girl. I was the wrong guy to get married to by the right girl. Right? This thing. But silently, because we've been rebelling against authority all along, that's the only form of manhood we know. We don't know manhood with the established, adopted manhood where I'm in love with my bloodline and my lineage, and I know my responsibilities and I love them so fucking much that I can't exist out of that. There's no system, there's no reality, there's no life outside of pride for my blood, whether I know time or not. I know what that guy was going through now. I'm an adult. I know what homie was going through. But I'm not going to do what homie did and ignore the pain. I'm going to process the pain. I'm going to deal with the pain. I'm going to let go of what I need to let go of so I can establish this and dignify my bloodline. I can cleanse my bloodline. So if you don't do this, if you don't do the latter things that I just mentioned, bloodline, your responsibilities, like literally knowing how to regulate yourself. If you don't do none of these things, the white guy is still going to be a Grootman to you at work. You're going to go to work tired as fuck. You're not going to ask for leave. You're going to be an overperformer. Or you're going to be the guy that fakes funerals at home. Or Tabazimbi. Just so you can have a break from work. But you're 5. We all do it, bro. We all do that shit. But Pete or Johan is still going to be Grootman because Johan feeds me, dog. I can't bite the hand that feeds me. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yep.
I don't have any other choice but to survive this shit for as long as I can survive it. Hopefully, I'll cozy up with the bosses and they'll give me a promotion. I'll get good at the skills that I have. I'll work hard. Being a millionaire isn't hard work, bro. It's not hard work.
So I take it to the next. I take it to the next level. Then I say, there's something that you mentioned, and I think it is key and it's fundamental, and we dealt with it last week. And I was saying to the guys that it's fundamental that your ancestral lineage is cleansed, because that is where a lot of the trauma is sitting. It's not even you. A lot of intergenerational trauma is sitting there. And your dad never you can't
duck it, bro.
Yeah, you can't duck it. You've got to do the legwork. I've discussed it many times.
Listen, if you're a man or a woman listening to this thing, listening to this conversation, and you haven't done any intergenerational cleansing or healing of your trauma, you cannot pass this on to someone else. Not even your children. You're like, yo, be kind. Be so fucking kind to your people, to your bloodline. Like, we live in an age where you have access to everything. There's no excuse now. Like, you don't have an excuse. If money is the excuse, bro, like, pattern up, man. Pattern up. Hook up with some people that can hook you up with like a good job, or like just finish what you start, man. If you start a company, just see that thing through, bro. See that thing through. See it through. Pay SARS. That's first hurdle for a black man. Pay SARS, bro. Pay SARS. Have a bank account specifically for SARS. You can't duck it. You can't duck the healing. You can't pass it on to the next. You can't pass it on to. You can't away. You can't drink it away. You can't talk it away. You can't talk it away. You actually have to sit down and talk with someone and help them. Like, help them help you see things through a different lens. Because the lens you're looking at it from is the lens of pain. You're emoting in the same loops and cycles and patterns. It's a cycle of pain, bro. You can't heal in a cycle of pain. Someone has to sit outside your cycle of pain and say, hey, baton, here's a baton. Come. Come out of this thing. Look at it from here. Look at it from here. Just look at it from here. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's bad if you continue in the pain. It's bad if you continue in the hurt. It's bad if you continue in the lies about being a man when you're honestly an ice boy. And I don't care how you feel. And I really don't care how you. I don't care. Like, feelings are facts. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are not facts, bro. They're not facts. The fact is, if you stay in that pain, you're going to create it in every single relationship you're in. You're going to hurt. You're going to use that same pain to manipulate people, to gaslight people, to trap people in patterns and loops and trauma cycles. You're gonna be to you and to everybody else what was done to you by everybody else. Trauma only invites itself.
You're just a repeater
else, bro. It only creates itself in everybody else. You can't do better than you know. And because you refuse to sit down with people who know, you won't know any different than you know.
Correct.
So Johan is still going to be the Grootman.
You know, I was having a conversation with my sorry to interject, man. I was having a conversation with my dad and his brother, and it became very uncomfortable because I went straight to the trauma and I hit it. And I said, we need to break this thing. And his brother looked away because he's the Grootman. You know, he's the one that's got a stable family, who's got kids, you know, who's done well, he's worked all his life and whatnot. You know, he's established himself. My dad drinks 24. If you give him a break and he'll drink. Give him a shot and he'll drink. Give him a little bit of an opportunity like that, he will drink. So he ended up, you know, his younger brother became the Grootman, you know. And I said, in your Grootman state, you haven't done the right things to fix the ancestral lineage and the traumatic experiences. In fact, what you're doing is passing them on because you guys keep regurgitating the pain to us. So I know how much it hurt you guys because you regurgitated it. But do you know how much it hurt you? And sometimes these are the questions that you need to ask yourself, because sometimes your patterns scream at you. You keep on dating multiple girls at the same time because there's a trauma there sitting in your feminine energy. And you're thinking the next girl will heal it. You keep on dating that. You keep on looking for brothers that are lower than you in intellect, in finances, in status, and whatever cases, so that you become the Grootman in the situation, because you're unable to deal with the traumatic the trauma that's sitting inside of you. So you look for lower. You look for girls that are on a lower level than you, girls that are unemployed, that can look up to you as their Grootman because they've got the daddy wound. So when they look at you, there's a bit of daddy that they see in them because you're providing. So you tickle that element in them, as well as, you know, he's so controlling. He's like my dad. He tells me where to go, and it feels so good because the man cares. He loves me. But you know exactly what you're doing because you are hitting that spot where she needed a dad and you are playing that. And only because you've got the finances or the intellect that supersedes what she's sitting on right there. We've got a lot of work to do as men.
So let me tell you, bro, you can't date or marry better than you are. You can't. Not traumatized. You can't date or marry better than you are. You can't. There's a reason, and there's a reason for it. Because better than you are demands that you become better than you are. And if you haven't done that work, and if better than you are doesn't have the time to nurse you to do that work, like it's gonna go away. Better than you are is gonna go away and choose what mirrors it, right? Or it's gonna stay for a while because it believes in not even potential. It believes in your power. It sees the light in your purpose. It sees the light in your purpose. It's gonna stay and it's gonna say, you know what? I'll have a door open for you. However, here are certain standards. Here are certain principles, levels that you need to operate in to get access to me. The door's open. The door's open. This is what I find with a lot of big brothers, not Grootman, a lot of big brothers that see you.
Yeah.
That actually see your light and see your power. A lot of big sisters that see you and see your light and see your power. And they're like, the door is open, but you have to talk different. You have to walk different. You have to believe different. You have to actually see what I'm seeing inside of you. And if you're not attuned to hear that direction, if you're not attuned, if you like your sight isn't attuned to see that baton, so the baton is here, and the hand is out. If you're not done, you're gonna go for lesser. 3 years later, they're gonna be like, oh, the door is open, and you're gonna be like, fuck! All this time the door is open, and then now you have 3 years of garbage that you've accumulated, and then now get scam. Now get shame. Now get guilt. Now get like because like I said before, trauma recreates itself everywhere you go. You've been meddling around with lesser than or on par with you. They come with their own trauma and they treat you like a clinic in a hospital, right? Whether men or women, whether men or women, they're gonna leave part of who they are with you. 3 years later, you go back to that same open door. You're way worse than you were 3 years ago.
And this person looks at you and you go,
no, guess what? The standards are here now. The standards are here. Your light is still there because your light doesn't diminish. Yeah. Your light doesn't diminish. Mara, it's like Siswana says, Munno fela matsogo. You know? Yeah. Munno fela matsogo. If Munno fela matsogo, if nona le matsogo, nona le siatla. Nona le siatla nyana, simonate siatla, then I can see your light. If Munno fela matsogo, the courage of the man diminishes as well. The bravery, the confidence, the belief that there's possibilities abound out there for me. It diminishes as well. It's not just Dladla Tsahao, it's the things that drive Dladla Tsahao, Buntle ba Dladla Tsahao, or Buntle ba Diketso Tsahao, or Buntle ba Botho ba hao. There's a lot of things that get diminished. So the light is dimmer. It's still there. It doesn't ever blow out, but it diminishes.
Correct.
It diminishes. And if it diminishes and the standards are higher 3 years later, because 3 years is a very long time for you not to improve your habits, right? And you haven't improved a single habit. You're still living on hope. You're still living on hope. You know what my wife's favorite statement is, like, to all family members is, hope will get you smoked. I'm not gonna get you anywhere.
Nowhere.
Can't live on hope. You have to metastasize the hope and make it something concrete and solid. And the thing that makes it concrete and solid is showing up, doing the work that's uncomfortable, doing hard, choosing hard first, choosing the hard work first. And you know what the hardest thing is in life, bro? The hardest work is your relationship with yourself.
Yeah. That's a difficult relationship because there you've got to hold yourself accountable, because there you've got to look at yourself.
You can't Grootman.
No, I'm no Grootman.
If you've been showing up as the ice boy, you can't Grootman nothing. You can't convince yourself you're Grootman if you've been an ice boy for a very long time, bro. That's a
100%.
difficult relationship to build. That's a difficult relationship to build. And if you fail that relationship, every single relationship is going to fail.
Correct. Correct. So
Simple.
our sisters are unfortunately marrying half men, half guys, half males, because the half that is presented, the half that is there, is what we're born with. This is so you're a clean slate and you've appeared on at birth as this half. So you've done no work. You bought the
Mm-hmm.
stock standard BMW, but you didn't add no seats to it. You didn't add a rim to it. There's no sound system to it. The door handles don't match the color of the car. So you've done absolutely no work on this car, and then you present this car at a racetrack or at a car show, and you're wondering why people are walking past your vehicle and looking at other vehicles. It's because you've done no work to the body of this car, this engine of this car. You've done
And
absolutely nothing.
it's not that you don't have worth or value.
Yeah.
It's just that someone else has to do that work for you. And people
The
who've
panel
done the work, don't have any time to do work for anybody else. They don't have time to be Bob the Builders. They don't have time to be Captain Save a Hole. They don't have time to be the preacher and the reverend and the imam. They don't have time for that. They have time to build for the future, bro. They have time to build for the future. They don't have time to actually build you or panel beat the damage you've done over time. Because that's what we do in relationships, right? We come with all this damage and we hope this girl is going to save us. We hope this girl is going to inspire us to do better. Like, if you live on hope, it gets you smoked because like even the girl you choose, it's going to be hopeful that you do the work for her too. It's like relationships like that are tiring, man. They're tiring. They tired and they're tiring. Like you see a lot. I mean, you see a lot more. Mokasi, you see a lot even like in suburban areas. You know a relationship that's not going to work out from a mile away. You can see it. They happy now because they
do the work.
They happy now because they blissful distractions for each other. Blissful distractions. Correct. You're distracting each other from doing the actual work.
Correct.
But come the pregnancy scare. come the discount. Come the discount. Butter King. The discount shopping cart.
No. Let's even take it deeper. Let's come to Mahadi's conversation. Well, Ejo, nahan na Mahadi biya. Ko hinu Mahadi bar ke buga 6 jagged, 8 jagged. Well, what? We're looking at 80K. Well, yeah.
Just a young 80. Just a young 80.
Young 80.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where you see whether a man is in love with his responsibilities or not. Because if you're in love with your responsibilities, you come prepared for those things. Day one, you're prepared for those things. It's very difficult for you to listen when you heal. This is one thing I've seen like for the last 12 years. Religiously, I've seen this thing with gents especially. It's when you heal, bro, now something happens to you where you don't want to entertain anything less than what makes your future better. Like your experience of yourself tomorrow is more important to you than anything in the world. More important than Kuchi. More important than Monati. More important than Timely Majida. More important than even a vacation. It's way like tomorrow, like the next moment for you is more important. And the only thing that I have for the next moment to be better is how I feel, or how I think, and how I process and apply myself right now. I actually don't have tomorrow. Right now is the best time that I have. But I know that the
Correct.
best time that I have right now, used properly, is going to get me everything that I've ever wanted. Because if I can see it, it actually exists. I just need to decide. I just need to decide on it. I told my pops when I was
Correct.
17, I'm like, the only girl I'm going to marry, the only girl I'm going to marry is better than my mom. It's better than your wife, my guy. That's the only girl I'm going to marry. You know what I mean? And so he was like to me, he said to me, he's like, well, you better get your money up. you better get your money up because you see your mom, you see her sisters, you know her dad. Get your money up. They come from straight and narrow. I might not be shit, but I treat her like my straight and narrow.
Correct.
You know? So for me, I and this is what I want to tell gents, and like this is not like self-glorification or anything, because all glory belongs to God, gents. Like all glory belongs to God. The best we become is glory and glorification and praise to Him. The best that we become is praise to our Creator, right? I just want to tell the gents, anything and everything you want is yours to have, but it won't be available or accessible to you if you don't have yourself. It's not going to come. If you don't have you, you can't get anything worthwhile in life. That girl, that 10 to you, your 10 is not coming. It's not coming. She's not going to come. And she's there. Like, you know, you've seen them. You know what you like. You know what you want. That polygamous marriage is not going to happen if you're not in love with yourself, my guy. If you don't know how to provide for yourself, my guy, if you don't know how to multiply what you have right now, the good that you have right now, if you don't know how to multiply that, it is not coming. If you don't value yourself, or better than a girl does, I'm sorry, my G, it's not coming. It's not coming. And we can't blame anyone but you. It's your fault. Where you are right now is the consequence of the decisions you've made or haven't made yet.
You know what I like about healing?
Because you can still make those. Sure. Donna, yet. I love yet.
Oh, I love yet, bro. You know what I love about healing is, and I've watched it over the years. I mean, guys that have done the work and that have healed, and that are on a healing journey, the stuff that you looked at doesn't look like the stuff that you want to look at anymore. And then you start looking like, you're like, man, what was I looking at this? I want to look at this. And the stuff that you're now looking
look at my team
has always looked at you. The stuff here, it's always looked at you. He just looked away.
You're literally repeating. You're literally repeating what I was saying. When you're operating in trauma, you can't do any better than you. You can't choose any better than you. You can't date any better than you. You can't make money any better than survival money, dog. You can't. You can't, because that's all you know. That's all you've qualified yourself for. That's all you've said. This is my stress management level. You know? This is my stress management level. First conversation I had with my wife, I was like, what kind of money gives you stress in your bank account? What kind of money gives you the most stress in your bank account? My wife told me $300 million. It stresses me because it's not there in my bank account right now. I'm stressed out about that thing. And I'm like, what's the plan? She sent me a whole freaking PDF and a whole 15-year plan of how to get the sum. So she stopped stressing about it. I was like, well, the baiting. I was like, well, who's your dad? I don't want to talk to you no more. You talk to your boss.
Come on,
It's like, holler
Papa.
at your mom, son. Yeah, get your mom, talk to my mom. I want that stress in my life. I want that. I want whatever thing it is that drove you to think of that number as your stress portion. I want that in my life. I want that to be the. I want that to
Okay,
be
we've
the
got a
thing I
question
care.
here.
Go ahead.
Xolani Ntuli, Babu Ntuli says, what about learned behavior? Like young ones who replicate the elder. I'm saying this because I'm raised by a single parent, which is a woman. So you're raised by feminine, and you keep repeating this feminine behavior. Like, what does she bring to the table? I feel like slapping brothers when they say that. Like, wake up.
Shut the fuck. Shut up, dog. Shut up.
Shut the fuck.
Shut up.
In the
Shut up.
queue.
Shut up.
Watch and learn.
Shut
She
up.
brings nothing. She brings herself.
She brings nothing, dog. She brings absolutely nothing. And that's not anything you should be looking for in a woman. That's nothing you should be looking for in a woman. Nothing. In a woman,
she brings herself. That's it.
Multiplication of your fucking lineage. That's all. That's all. That's all she's bringing to the. And half the time when dudes ask that stupid question, they don't even have a table to start with. I'm tired of this fucking conversation. You don't have a table, bro. You don't have a table. I'm worried about what other women do in other men's pockets. You can't do what they do. You can't do what they do, bro. You can't. You can't. Stop pocket counting, dog. Stop pocket watching. Some whole shit. Now, okay, let me answer. Listen, bro. I think brothers that are raised by single mothers have it all the better because you know the struggles of that woman. You know what she's had to struggle to get you to a certain place. If the raising and the grooming and the way that you're nurtured into manhood wasn't A1, you have every single person who she dated or who she was romantic with to look at to not be like, or to be like if they were good to her. If they were good to her. You have every barometer taught to you. You have every learned behavior. If the mother was terrible, if the mother wasn't all the way there for you, if the nurturing wasn't all the way there for you to get you to a certain place where you're like, I'm proud of my lineage, I'm proud of my manhood. You have every single barometer to measure what woman not to be with. There's a lot that we think are negatives. Like God in the Quran says, there's a lot of things you like that might be terrible for you, that are very terrible for you. And there's a lot of things you hate that have a lot of good in them for you. Like I said in the beginning, you take what's good and you leave what's bad. And you pray for what's bad to improve so it can get to a point where it's good. But you take the good and you add that as to part of your character or part of your yardstick or part of your measurement of life. There's no loss in learned behavior. If it's bad, the only thing you need to look at is the results that the learned behavior is bringing into your life. If the results are terrible, stop. Habit hack your habits and stop the negative learned behavior, because it's going to stop bringing negative results or bad results. If it's good, then you start looking at other results. Good is the good that I want or the good that I deserve. If it's the good that I want, how can I improve that? If the good isn't good enough, how can I better myself so the good becomes 10 times more? There's no loss. There's absolutely no loss in taking from the people who raised us. Like my pops drinks. He wasn't all the way there. But my formative years with my pops was in the dojo. My formative years with my pops was my pops forcing me to read. The best thing my father ever did for me was say to me, you're such a different kid. I only know how to speak to kids who drink, to teenagers and kids in their mid-20s to drink. I only know how to do that. You don't drink, you don't smoke, you pray 5 times a day. I don't know how to raise a kid like that. The best thing my father did for me was to point me to men that were better than him and say, maybe you can learn something from him. Maybe you can go spend a weekend with him at his farm and see, like, you talking about livestock. Maybe you can just go to him. Maybe I can bring you a book from this guy who's Indian. Maybe you can read that and like, because you questioning me about the Bible, and those are things that I don't know. That's the best thing my father did for me. But the better things my father showed me was how not to be him. But just him struggling with the things he was struggling with, him struggling with addiction, him struggling with his trauma, him not processing his trauma. I learned how not to be my father. Bamduli says, he follows it up and says, environment is everything, heredity is nothing. Like, young as a child, what do you know this good and this bad when you're a child? You don't know. But we're not children anymore now, bro. We're not children anymore. And it's not, your question assumes that it's a lost cause if you didn't learn certain things as a child. It isn't. It isn't a lost cause. You might have messed up, bro. Yet you literally have to subscribe to being a lost cause for you to be a lost cause. And even still there's redeemable parts about you. Even still there's very absolutely redeemable parts about you, because you don't know what this lost cause is going to take you. Every single day in your life, there's choices. I can go the lost cause route, or I can do the difficult in the things I don't know how to do and attempt doing them. You always have these two choices. You're not just because my childhood was terrible doesn't mean that I go the terrible route, because I can choose. I have those choices today. I can choose to do more than I know. I can choose to be around company that knows more than me. I can humble myself. I can actually sit at the feet of a teacher and not a Grootman. I can actually sit at the feet of a teacher and not a Grootman.
And
I can choose that. Yeah. And it's not hero worship. It's not me nyanning myself. It's me being humble enough to say, I don't know what I don't know. But I do want to know. Because I know if I know more than I know now, I can do better. I can be better. I can have better. You know what I mean? It's being brave enough to say, I'm here. And I'm not where I want to be. I don't have what I want to have. But I promise you, bro, if you got data to watch this stream, you have everything you need to get everything you want.
Correct. It's right in front of you. It's just you just need to want to have it as bad enough.
You just have to decide, this is the direction I want to go, and be disciplined enough to wake up tomorrow and say, I chose a direction and I'm going that direction. And wake up the next day, I chose that direction and I'm going that direction. And be graceful enough to say, to know that I'm gonna drop the ball and I might slip back to my ways, but I made a decision 5 weeks ago and I'm gonna keep walking that direction. No matter how many times I fall back and I falter, I'm going to keep respecting this decision. And I'm going to keep walking there until it's the only thing I know how to do. Just like it's the only thing I know how to think or be, because I've been this way and I've been thinking this way all along. You know what I mean? And I hope that's helpful, and I hope that's like, it comes with the grace that is meant to come off with.
Thanks so much, Hakeem. You're a king, always. I bless you and everything that you do. Fola is a foundation where we always will lean to, as the name says, in your closing, I want you to do two things for us. The sisters that are listening in, give them a message on Banna Babo and how to become better sisters to their men. And for the guys that are listening in, give them info on how to get a hold of Fola, how to get a hold of you. I think you and I will be doing something very soon. We'll invite Majida to come spend the day with us, and let's have conversations like this all day. Let's actually get into depth with these conversations, and let's have it. So where do they get a hold of you? And then let's start message to the sisters and a message to the brothers on our closing.
All right, cool. So all praise is due to God. Alhamdulillah for everything, you know, like all praise belongs to God,
Alhamdulillah.
literally. Like the best that you see in me, bro, is the best that you are, and the best that He's blessed us to become. You know what I mean? Like every single bit of truth that was given, praise is due to God. Every single thing that might have hurt someone that I said, please forgive me and pray that I become better. But to inform everyone on how to get a hold of us at Fola, like all my social media, my DMs are open. All my social media has a link in bio. Book the discovery call. It's going to change your life. Just the discovery call alone is going to change the way you think. It's going to switch your lens a little bit. But I'm going to tell you now, Nakatura, Nakatura. You know what I'm saying? Katura and Kitura for a reason, because everything we do at Fola literally delivers that. We don't just talk about it, we do about it. And the doing about it is all dependent on you investing in yourself to become better. It's you investing in yourself to transform your life. It's you investing in yourself, knowing that there is better out there, and gaining the bravery through the sessions to actually get there. So I want to hear you complaining about how much I charge. You can go to someone who's cheaper and just talk about your issues. But we heal. We heal, and then we optimize, and then we become peak performers. That's that. I also have like 300 million to get to before I'm 45. So that's that. so that's that. Like, just get that out the way. To our sisters, I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
and like, it's the same thing to the brothers, because I spoke about that individual. If you don't get the individual relationship right, every single relationship is going to fail. Every single person you're with is going to be a problem to you, because you don't know how to navigate the problem and look at it with the eye of solutions. I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to look at, and these are the 5 sessions that we do. The first initial sessions that we do, 5 internal world sessions. Then there's the next 5 sessions that are internal world. This is only the first package to get you outside of the grave and outside of the graveyard. The first 5 get you outside of darkness and ignorance. You heal. You have to come out of the graveyard to actually be in maybe a township, maybe a concentration camp. Maybe you need to get out of the concentration camp to kind of like, hey, maybe there's yards that are bigger. I might need to go to a rural area or something. Stop living in the grave. So first 5, inner child healing. I see a lot of people going to YouTube for this stuff. Context matters, okay? Like, context matters. Yeah, like your life context matters. If you go to a white therapist there on YouTube there, or white meditation thing on YouTube, you end up coming out with some other things. We can't help you with those things. So I'm just going to tell you now. I'm just going to tell context matters. Culture matters. Blackness matters. Representation matters. Our context, South African context, matters. Those relationships matter. Okay. So the house that you're raised in and the parents who raised you, you have to heal from these things, right? Number 2, you have to establish your authority and stop rebelling. Black men and black women are rebelling. That's why our relationships won't work out, because we're rebelling against authority. If I fall in love with someone, when I fall in love with someone, I give them authority over me to tell me what to do and how to move, to guide me, to hold my hand, to restrict me, and to open certain doors, or to open my place. I'm giving them authority over me. If I cannot serve, if I cannot submit, as a man, and I'm saying this as a man, if I cannot submit, my woman won't feel safe enough to submit to me, because I can't follow direction. If my woman doesn't follow my direction, doesn't listen to me, I won't feel fulfilled enough to go hunting. I'll protect, yeah, because I'm married, but hunting, keep you in the bare minimum, keep you on survival, keep you on the survival scope. You know what I mean? Authority is the most beautiful thing you can establish, and authority that's established on healing of the house that you're raised in makes the house that you operate in way better in terms of functionality, way better in terms of performance, way better in terms of you're literally removing lids here, and here. You're removing lids, you're removing chains, right? These 2, very important. Number 3, you have to forgive yourself for all the fuck shit you've allowed in your life in terms of romantic relationships. Not them. It's got nothing to do with your exes. You're the one who chose You're the one who bargained. You're the one who begged. You're the one who stayed. You're the one who spent. The blaming of other people in terms of exes isn't going to take you anywhere. You're going to get into another relationship and you're going to charge your partner with the fixing of what they did and what you allowed. That's what you're going to do. Men and women. It's not just restricted to women. It's not just restricted to men. You're going to do it, and you are doing it, and you know you're doing it, and you're very sneaky about it. You know you're doing it. You know that this person isn't responsible for the things you're struggling with, for the unhappiness you show up with in the relationship. You're charging them with the labor of being to you what everyone else couldn't, and you chose this particular person right now, knowing that this is the trauma you chose to manage. This is what you settled for. You didn't settle up to a standard and a principle. It scared you. You were afraid of being called out because you suck with your authority. I'm telling you straight, I don't care. Give them about your feelings. I give a damn about facts. Care about your feelings. If your feelings were so great, if how you feel about certain things was so great, why are you here? Why are you still stuck there? Why are you struggling with that? Why is he a problem? Why is she a problem in your life? Why is 3 a.m. such a difficult time for you? When it's supposed to be the most blessed time, because that's the time that God approaches the edges of the heavens and asks his angels, who of my creation among every single person and being and creation of mine that's sleeping is up and asking for help? Give it to them. The most blessed time in all of time is 3 a.m. in the morning, the darkest of night, when your creator is waiting for you to ask. He just waits to ask for you to ask, and you get everything. But it's the hardest time. So you have to forgive yourself, not them. It doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter how they treated you. It doesn't matter. It's what you said yes to in the initial and what you stayed for. Why did it take you that long to actually leave that relationship when your gut in the first week, second week, first month told you to get out, told you to leave? All right? Number 4 is your relationship with yourself. Black people, men and women, don't have a relationship with themselves. We have a relationship with how the world sees us and what the world thinks about us. Abantu Wazotini is a real thing to us. It's a real thing to us. And so we perform success and succeeding. We perform goodness. We perform being okay. I'll give you an example once. Every day you meet people. Hey, once, how you doing, bro? Like work, familiar, your wife even, the person you love. You don't know how you doing. I'm fine, dog. You know I'm good. You're a liar. You're not good. You're a liar. You're not doing good. You're not doing good. You're actually not okay. You're not fine. You're not happy. You're not fulfilled. You don't actually feel blessed and highly favored. You just say it to shut people up. You say I'm fine to shut people up because you don't want people to pry. Because whenever you've invited people in, they didn't know what to do with your emotions. And some of them use them against you.
Correct.
If you can't be honest in the greeting, dumelang. Dumelang botshelo, dumelang botshelo. If you can't dumela botshelo, go ba tshela. Motho o le mo ba tshileng, ba tshelela kae? O tshelela kae? You know? So it's in the most simple, basic things. If you don't establish a relationship with yourself, every single relationship is doomed to fail. And you can't establish a relationship with yourself based on surviving the trauma that you haven't processed, that you haven't healed from, that you haven't overcome, that you haven't forgiven. Then there's your power and purpose. Majority of us will never even see it. We'll see it, tiny little glimpse, a little speck in a vision for ourselves. But are we going to attend to the vision? No. We're not attending to no damn vision. You're not attending to I'm too scared of that. Success is scary because success demands I be different than what I am today. Success demands that I show up differently, that I show up with a lot more conviction and belief. And I can't fake the funk. I don't believe in myself. I don't believe in myself because the people who were supposed to teach me belief in myself reprimanded me to a point where I didn't even know who I was. So the voices stuck in my head concerning me are theirs. That's why I don't like my family. I don't even go home in December. That's why I complain so much about spending money on them at the end of the month. Because those people hated me. They broke me. Anyway, first 5. We can talk about the rest of them. Like in the discovery call, we're gonna go deeper into this. We're gonna iron them out. You're gonna hate me. You might even cry. It's fine. It's okay. You won't die. Tears aren't hurtful. No. Tears aren't painful, guys. It's just like
I love the discovery call. I love heading out the discovery call. It's like, you know, when someone steps in like a Grootman, and we break that Grootman down, and we're like, thanks for coming with him, but he can wait outside for you. Let's meet you. Yeah, let's meet you.
Yeah, like you'll pick the Grootman up when you leave.
Don't come the Grootman up on your way out. Yeah, he's not coming with us.
It's an option. It's an option. You either leave as you or you leave as the Grootman as well, pretending you didn't hear what you heard. But that's fine.
100%.
So that's the way. That's what I personally believe. Every black man and woman's focus needs to be as individuals. You know, you need to commit yourself to refining those relationships, to healing those relationships, to forgiving those relationships, and to actually getting better at them. You know, like once you function better in those relationships, a lot of things are going to fall in place all by themselves. I'm gonna send you a voice note that I received today, bro.
There's something that you say in my closing that I love, and I always repeat as well. My services don't come cheap because they last long.
My services are forever. My services are forever. We don't do fleecing therapy. We don't do fleecing healing. You know what I mean? There's like, if you want true and real change, commit to true and real change and actually do the change work. You know what I mean? That's what you're signing up for. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for giving us your knowledge. You're a king. You're always available for us, and you're healing a black man at a time. You're touching lives, and please never, ever, ever, ever stop. Guys, this was a hip-hop wordsmith genius when I was growing up in the hood. His use of words was incredible, but he gave that a life up to be able to take care of what his purpose and his mission as a man is. Thank you so much. This is Moya. This is Wandile Dladla signing out. Men's Conference every Monday. Please like and subscribe. Share with your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, everyone that needs to hear this. Each one, bring one, and let us speak to the guys and the girls that need to hear this, and let's take it everywhere around the globe. Thank you so much. Blessings upon blessings. Have a brilliant, brilliant week. Blessings. Happy Monday. Siyabong. Moya.